Today we're going to be making Japanese souffle pancakes with a berry maple syrup. Let's start with the berry maple syrup. 1 cup of water, half cup of sugar, 4 ounces of strawberries, 4 ounces of blueberries, 3 ounces of raspberries, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Turn the heat to high and start working that wrist. You want the sugar to start dissolving so it doesn't settle at the bottom and burn. Then let it boil. This might take a while. When the blueberries start to darken, stir occasionally. Now the compote is getting hot. Notice how plump the blueberries are. Be careful not to burn yourself. The liquid is very hot. Notice how beautiful that color is. That is what you want. Don't worry about it being so thin. It's going to thicken up with the slurry and the maple syrup. When the blueberries begin to shrivel up and break down, that's how you know your sauce is done. Mix the berries for me. Now we have to strain the liquid. I suggest a mess strainer. As always, be careful when handling hot liquids. Your safety is important. With a spoon or rubber spatula, gently press the berries through the mesh. Don't overwork it. Allow gravity to do its thing. Discard the leftover. Return the sauce back to the saucepan. Turn the heat back up to high and add 2 cups of maple syrup. When the syrup starts to boil, add your slurry, which is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of cold water. This will help achieve the body and volume of the syrup. More wrist action. Let's get to it. Once you get a rolling boil, turn the heat down and simmer for 5 minutes. The consistency you want should be smooth, easy to pour, and not too thick. Now it's time for the meringue. This is how we get the pancakes extra fluffy. 2 egg whites. 1/4 cup of sugar. I use a KitchenAid countertop mixer, but you can use a handheld mixer. And if you're feeling really brave, you can use a whisking bowl. Start on low and gradually increase the speed. This process does take a while, but it is so worth it. Basically what you're doing, you're whisking the egg whites with the sugar to create a stiff foam or frothy mixture. You want soft peaks when you lift the whisk up. That's how you know it's done. Just like that. Transfer it to a mixing bowl and then set aside. Now it's time for the pancake batter. 2 cups of flour. 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/3 cup of sugar. Put the whisk attachment on, and you want to whisk the dry ingredients to make sure everything gets incorporated evenly. Now it's time to add the wet ingredients. 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla, 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 cup of milk, half now, half towards the end to loosen up the batter. Don't forget to scrape the sides to make sure you get everything. Every bit of flour counts. We don't want our mix to be too clumpy now, do we? There we go. Now it's time to give that another good mix. And we're almost ready. Now you want to add the remaining milk to loosen up the batter. That's the consistency that you're looking for. Next is to fold the pancake batter with the meringue mix. You can use a mixer for this, but I prefer to be gentle with it. Your wrists may or may not hurt, but I promise you the end result is well worth it. Turn your burner on medium heat, and then you want to grease your molds with palm, oil, or butter. I prefer palm, but that's just me. You can also purchase the molds from Walmart or Michael's or even Amazon. Next, you want to butter the skillet. Place your molds down and make sure the surface is even or the batter will leak. And we don't want that, now do we? Arrange them nicely. Grab your mix. Let's get started. I use a portion scoop for this, but you can use a measuring cup or whatever you have on hand. It's up to you. You want to fill the molds 3/4 of the way. If you notice, all 3 molds are different sizes, so they require a different amount of scoops into each one. You don't want to fill it up too much, or then it's going to overflow when it rises. Next, add a few tablespoons of water, cover, let it steam for 5 minutes. I know you're eager, but be patient and trust the process. It's almost time. When you lift the lid, turn it away from you so you don't get burned. Flip the molds over carefully. See how they rose up like that? Beautiful. Ooh, that one was very hot. as you want. Check for firmness. Add a little bit more water and steam for 5 more minutes. It's almost time. Remove the cover slowly and admire your work. Check for firmness again. Turn the heat off and carefully remove the molds. They will be very hot. Now it's time to plate. Pancake isn't a pancake without the butter. It's the artist in me that's making me want this to shingle. But the way this hot pancake and this butter interact, I think I just lay it side by side instead. Next, we add the berry maple syrup. Wait, this one deserves a closer. Now we can pour. Just like that. Top with fresh berries. Don't be stingy now. There you go. And I present to you Japanese souffle pancakes with berry maple syrup. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and hit that subscribe button.